transition where from being a rapper, like looking at all these girls and looking at my wife, like, oh, my girl needs to be just like the other girls, showing her body off, showing this, showing that. And I didn't realize that that was affecting like my soul and my spirit as someone that's married and loved and the father of like now with about to be 4 kids.
Hello? Hey, I just got a call from Playboy.
Kanye West once swore on God that Kris Jenner would never push North into the same Playboy-style spotlight that launched the Kardashian empire. But after Kim and North's recent Rome appearance, Kanye is reportedly fuming, and fans are questioning if his worst fear is slowly coming true.
Of course, it's like a formal underwear. It's hot. It's like, it's hot for who though?
So like the night before the Met, you're gonna come in here and say that you're not into a corset bag. Give me really bad anxiety. What are you talking about?
Why is that giving you anxiety to say that?
Because you knew last night I was having really bad anxiety and I don't need any more negative energy for you to now say that you're not into me wearing.
The second Kim and North showed up for dinner in Rome, paparazzi lost their minds. North strolled in rocking a black corset-style top, long blue braids flowing down her back, and giant platform boots that screamed "Runway Ready."
Hold it up.
The look had people stunned because it felt more like a high-fashion debut than a middle schooler's outfit, and that's exactly why the internet lit up with outrage. Plenty of fans sided with Kanye on this one, blasting the outfit as too grown and way too much for her age. Comments poured in nonstop. Why is a 12-year-old wearing a bustier? She's literally a kid. Let her be a kid. Another person chimed in saying, at 12, I didn't look anything like that, but maybe times really have changed. And just like that, the debate over North's childhood being rushed into adulthood exploded online. Some people are flat out saying Kim's star power is slipping. And now she's using North to keep the spotlight burning bright. The claims got even messier when fans started digging up throwbacks, comparing North's style to a young Kylie Jenner. At the same age, Kylie was already rocking heavy makeup, striking adult-like looks, and later jumping into cosmetics before she was even old enough to vote.
Kanye West was right. This is his 12-year-old daughter, North West, with Kim Kardashian. She's 12. Look at what she's wearing.
For critics, North's Rome look and her other bold outfits felt like deja vu. They said it was the same script, just recycled, and everybody remembers how that story ended for Kylie. But that wasn't even the end of the drama, because pulling North into the spotlight instantly dragged another name right back into it, Kanye West, now going by Ye. Kanye's been on public tirades about Kim's parenting ever since their split, and this exact moment is the nightmare he swore he'd never let happen. Back in 2020, during those infamous Twitter meltdowns, Kanye declared, "I put my life on God that North's mom would never photograph her doing Playboy." He was furious about what he called the Kardashian influence on his kids, claiming it was toxic and dangerous. He even blasted Kris Jenner directly, accusing her of not only pushing Kim into Playboy, but also steering Kylie down the exact same road. To Kanye, this wasn't a one-time mistake. It was a generational pattern, and he made it crystal clear. North would never be next in line. What Kim didn't know back then is that Kanye was just warming up. Back in 2020, the peak of Kanye's infamous meltdowns, he went on record saying his marriage to Kim felt like the movie Get Out. He claimed he was trapped, controlled, and that the Kardashians were trying to turn his own kids into nothing more than brand pawns. In one of his now legendary tweets, Kanye raged, "Kim was trying to fly to Wyoming with a doctor to lock me up, like the movie Get Out, because I cried about saving my daughters yesterday." He even insisted the entire movie was really about him. And if you're wondering why he made that comparison, Get Out is a psychological horror film about a black man meeting his white girlfriend's family, only to find out they secretly lure black people in for disturbing body-swapping experiments. Dramatic? Definitely. But to Kanye, the metaphor was dead serious. He saw the Kardashian empire as a cold machine built on image, and he was the lone man fighting to break the cycle. His tweets kept flying non-stop. I put my life on God that North's mom would never photograph her doing Playboy. And that's on God. I put my life on the line for my children that North's mother would never sell her. The raw emotion spilled across every post, making it clear this wasn't just about fashion or photo shoots. Kanye then took his outrage beyond Playboy. He blasted Kim over their kids' education too. He accused her and Kris of forcing decisions about schools without his input, claiming they went against his will every single time. He wanted his kids at his own Donda Academy, the school he personally built, where he could control the vibe, the lessons, and exactly who surrounded them. To Kanye, it wasn't just parenting, it was a fight for their souls. In Kanye's mind, the only way to protect his kids was to keep them far away from what he called the Kardashian machine. He even went straight at Kris Jenner with a blunt warning text. "Don't let Kris make you do Playboy like she made Kylie and Kim." And you know the drama's out of control when Kris herself finally feels the need to step in. He posted his warning loud and clear. "Don't let Kris make you do Playboy like she made Kylie and Kim do it. Not gonna happen to North in Chicago." That hit hard because Kris is used to running the narrative, not being dragged into a public mess, especially not one involving her grandchildren. So, she tried to settle it quietly, replying to "yeah" in private. "Please stop mentioning my name. I'm almost 67. This stresses me." But if Kris thought that would calm him down, she was so wrong. Nobody silences Kanye. Every time North's name popped up, he circled right back, hammering the same warning over and over, that Kim and Kris would try to use her for fame if he didn't step in. To him, this wasn't just parenting. This was war. And here's where it gets even messier, because Kim herself once admitted she never even wanted to do Playboy. She confessed she was nervous, uncomfortable, totally unsure about it. But then came Kris with her signature sales pitch, pushing her into it anyway. Kim recalled, "I was uncomfortable. My mom said, 'Go for it.' They might never ask you again. Our show isn't on the air yet. No one knows who you are." That confession made it clear. Kris was always the one pulling the strings. Kris famously told Kim, "Do it and you'll have these beautiful pictures to look at when you're my age." So Kim gave in. She posed, the photos dropped, the show skyrocketed, and history was made. But years later, Kim admitted that the Playboy shoot became one of her biggest regrets, a shadow that's haunted her image ever since. And Kanye, he never let that go. To him, Kris pressuring Kim into Playboy was the ultimate proof that North could be pushed down the same exact road if he didn't step in. He even once tweeted, "Just got a call from Playboy." His way of hinting that the cycle was trying to repeat itself. Now, with North's Rome photos making headlines, people are starting to connect the dots. Some are saying what Kanye has been screaming for years. Maybe his paranoid warnings don't sound so paranoid anymore. But here's the twist. Kanye isn't spotless in this whole mess either. Critics are quick to point out that back in 2013, he was totally fine with Kim doing Playboy again. And let's not forget, he was the creative mind behind some of her most jaw-droppingly sexualized looks. Remember that iconic Mugler wet dress that literally broke the internet? That wasn't Kim's idea. That was Kanye's vision. He wanted her to be the ultimate sex symbol, the woman everyone stared at, the centerpiece of every conversation. But by 2019, the script completely flipped. On the night of the Met Gala, Kanye suddenly told Kim he wasn't comfortable with her looking too sexy in front of other men. The same man who had spent years pushing her to embrace that image was now tearing her down for living it out. He even hit her with, "You are my wife." Kim wasn't having it. She clapped back, reminding him that he had built her up as this confident, unstoppable figure. And he couldn't just break her down now because his personal vibe had changed. The hypocrisy was glaring. Kanye had no problem writing off Kim's sex symbol image when it boosted his own brand. But the second it clashed with his new persona, he condemned it like it was a sin. And here's where it gets even stickier. People pointed out Kanye's current wife, Bianca. Fans learned he was the one picking out her outfits too, styling her in barely there looks, and even parading her barefoot in public. It made no sense. How could he blast Kim for being sexualized when he was literally curating the same thing for Bianca? One commenter nailed it. Kanye might say he's against this, but he's consistently devalued women. Between him and Kim, this baby is doing better than I expected. And that's where the public split wide open. Half the people dragged Kanye as a hypocrite rewriting history, while the other half argued that double standards or not, he still had a valid point when it came to protecting North. Kim herself admitted that Kris pushed her into Playboy, and now people are saying history is repeating, with North stepping out of restaurants looking like she's 18. The fight over North has exploded into a full-blown cultural debate. On one side, critics are dragging Kim, accusing her of following Kris's old playbook to the letter. They claim that Rome dinner wasn't just a casual night out, it was a staged paparazzi moment, carefully orchestrated to keep cameras flashing. The accusations are brutal, that Kim is trading North's childhood for headlines the same way Kris once traded Kim's privacy for fame. The anger online is loud. Many are calling it exactly what it looks like: exploitation. The fear is real. People worry North is on track to end up like Kylie, growing up way too fast, exposed to the harshest spotlight, and molded into a brand before she even has a chance to choose her own path. One comment even hit straight to the point, saying it's exactly what Kanye always feared. But the other side isn't letting Kanye off the hook either. They argue both Kim and Ye are guilty of using North. Kim for the spotlight her daughter brings. Kanye because his critics don't see a protective father, they see a hypocrite waging an endless war against Kim and Kris, using his daughter as a pawn in their ugly chess game. And honestly, they're not wrong. Kanye is messy, inconsistent, and yes, even hypocritical, but despite all that, he might still be onto something. North is just 12. She's a kid, and kids deserve to be treated like kids, not sold as headlines. And now the drama has reached boiling point. Every move North makes, from her clothes to her dinner outings, is under a microscope, and the battle lines are crystal clear. Some see Kim as exploiting her daughter for clicks, while others say Kanye is weaponizing fatherhood just to keep fighting with the Kardashians. Either way, North is the one caught in the crossfire. The internet won't stop dissecting every detail. Paparazzi shots become evidence, old interviews are being dragged back up, and fan theories are flying non-stop. Some swear Kim is carefully grooming North to carry the Kardashian legacy into the next generation, while others warn this could rob her of a normal childhood entirely. The haunting part? We've seen this pattern before, and it rarely ends clean. And then there's Kanye, messy, unpredictable, sometimes flat-out hypocritical, but still echoing a truth people can't ignore. He's been shouting for years that the Kardashian brand chews up innocence and spits out fame. Now, with North at the center of it all, the fear is that he might finally be proven right. The public is split down the middle. Is Kim simply raising her daughter with confidence and style, or is she feeding North into the same Hollywood machine that swallowed up her own youth? Is Kanye a concerned father, or just another player in a toxic power game? The scary part is the answer may already be unfolding in front of us, and none of us know how far it'll go. But just when people thought the drama couldn't get any louder, it did. North's Rome look has now sparked outrage from celebrity insiders, stylists, and even child advocates who are calling it dangerous and irresponsible. Some claim Kim is setting a new low by blurring the line between childhood and adulthood right in front of millions of followers. Others are whispering that this was never about fashion at all. It was about headlines, clicks, and staying relevant. And let's not forget the Hollywood elite weighing in. Behind the scenes, rumors say certain A-listers are privately siding with Kanye, warning that if North keeps being styled like a grown woman at just 12, the media will eat her alive. A former industry insider even leaked, "We've seen this story before. They make them icons too young, and by the time they're adults, the damage is permanent." That chilling prediction has fans debating harder than ever. Meanwhile, Kim's camp is pushing back, saying she's just letting North express herself and embrace confidence. But critics aren't buying it. They argue that a 12-year-old can't fully grasp what it means to be packaged for the world stage, and that Kim should know better after everything she went through herself. The pressure is building on all sides, and the Kardashian empire is once again standing in the middle of a storm. The real question is, will Kim double down and keep North in the spotlight? Or will she finally pull back before the backlash gets completely out of control? There's really no reason for Kim to have North stepping out dressed like a grown woman, unless the goal is to speed up her childhood. And if that's the case, that's not just questionable, it's flat out disturbing. No matter how you try to spin it, the truth is hard to ignore. She's only 12, and already being shoved into a world that chews kids up before they're even old enough to protect themselves. At this point, North's childhood doesn't feel private at all. Every outfit, every hairstyle, every paparazzi shot turns into an online debate. Some people argue she's just copying her mom and experimenting with fashion like any kid would. But others say this is different. This is her innocence being stolen in real time, with a spotlight she never asked for burning brighter every day. And that's the heartbreaking part. North isn't just Kim's daughter or Kanye's daughter. She's a kid caught in one of the messiest Hollywood battles we've ever seen. Kim wants her polished, styled, photographed. Kanye wants her hidden away, chilled, and protected. But the gag is, while both of them swear they're fighting for her best interests, what they're really doing is dragging her deeper into their endless feud. Imagine being 12 and realizing your own childhood is the battleground in a war you never signed up for. That's the reality North is living right now, and the whole world is watching. For every shocking twist in this saga, and the next Hollywood storm waiting to erupt, hit subscribe to Juicy Reel, where the drama never stops.